Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata-sevayā Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki श्रीमद्भागवतपुराणममलं यत् वैष्णवानां प्रियं यस्मिन् पारमहंस्यम् एकम् अमलं ज्ञानं परं गीयते तत्र ज्ञानविराग भक्तिसहितनैष्कर्म्यम् आविष्कृतं तत् शृण्वन् सुपठन् विचारणोपरो भक्त्या विमुच्य नरः कृष्णे दामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सकलौ नष्टदृशाम् एषा पुराणार्को अधुनोदितः सर्ववेदान्तसारं हि श्रीभागवतम् इत्येतद् रसामृततृप्तस्य नान्यत्र स्यात् रतिः क्वचेत् य एतत् श्रावयेन्नित्यं यामक्षणम् अनन्यधीः श्लोकम् एकं तदर्थं वा पादं पादार्थम् एव वा श्रद्धवान् यो अनुशृणुयात् पुनाति आत्मानम् एव सः कृष्णतुल्यभागवत विभो सर्वाश्रया प्रतिश्लोके प्रति अक्षरे नाना अर्थकया प्रेममया भागवता कृष्णेर श्रियङ्गाताः ते काहेन यत्र याता गोप्या कृष्णेराङ्गा आदिमध्ये अन्त्ये भागवते एकया विष्णुभक्ति नित्यसिद्ध अव्यया अक्षया अक्षय अव्यया भागवत शास्त्रे से भक्ति तत्व कहे तेनि भागवत समा कोनो शास्त्र नाहे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. We are in the sixth canto, chapter 16. We are continuing from verse number 32, purports, and we'll go till 45, and afterwards we'll continue with verses. So, तथा समादाय मनोमनीषया बभाष एतत् प्रतिलब्धवाग् असौ नियम्य सर्वेन्द्रियबाह्यवर्तनं जगद्गुरुं शाश्वत शास्त्रविग्रह. So here, thereafter, by controlling his mind with intelligence and thus restricting his senses from external engagement, he recovered suitable words with which to express his feelings. So, as we discussed last week, um, what was the condition, ecstatic condition of Chitraketu Maharaj, that he was unable to prepare proper expression or Uttama Shloka. In the purport, Prabhupada is saying, one cannot offer praise to the Lord with mundane words. One must become spiritually advanced by controlling the mind and senses. Then he can find suitable words to offer in praise to the Lord. Quoting the following verse from Padma Puran, Srila Sanatana Goswami forbids us to sing any song not sung by authorized devotees. So I don't know, I have referred this, and it's very important. One may think, why are we so fanatic? Why are we only old fashioned? Why are we only talking about old things? What Prabhupada has left us as a heritage. It is said, Avaishnava Mukhodgirnam Utam Hari Kathamritam Shravanam Naitva Kartavyam Sarvo Sarpochishtam Yathapaya. Sarpa Uchishta. Uh, Whatever is touched by a serpent, a snake, Sarpochishta Yatha Paya. Paya is becoming like a poison. The words of or songs of a person not fixed in Vaishnava behavior, not strictly following the rules and regulations and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra should not be accepted by pure devotees. The word Shashvata Shastra Vigraham indicates that Satchit Ananda, the body of the Lord, can never be accepted to be Maya. Hmm. चित्रकेतुरुवाच अजित जितः सममतिभिः साधुभिर्भवान् जितात्मभिर्भवता विजितास्ते अपि च भजताम् कामात्मानं य आत्मदो अदिति करुणः. So Chitraketu Maharaj, he started offering prayers. He's saying, "Yo, you Ajitendriya." What is the word used here? Ajita Jita Sama Matibihi. Ajita means oh, unconquerable Lord, and Jita means conquered. Sama Matibihi, by persons who have conquered the mind. So the Lord willingly gets controlled by one who's self-controlled. They can keep you under their control because you are causelessly merciful to the devotees who desire no material profit from you. Indeed, you give yourself to them, and because of this, you are also have full control over your devotees. And this goes further. The Lord and the devotees both conquer. In the purport, Prabhupada is saying, the Lord is conquered by the devotees, and the devotees are conquered by the Lord. Because of being conquered by one another, they both derive transcendental bliss from their relationship. The highest perfection of this mutual conquering is exhibited by Krishna and the gopis. Gopis conquer Krishna, and Krishna conquered the gopis. Thus, whenever Krishna played his flute, he conquered the minds of the gopis, and without seeing the gopis, Krishna could not be happy. Other transcendentalists, such as Gyanis and Yogis, cannot conquer the Supreme Lord. Only pure devotees can conquer him. And Ajita Jita Samamati. Samamati means that they never deviate from devotional service under any circumstance. Uh, and a special distinction between devotees and other transcendentalists like Gyanis and Yogis is the Gyanis and Yogis artificially try to become one with the Supreme, whereas devotees never aspire for such an impossible accomplishment. So, devotees know that their position is to be eternally servants of the Lord and never to be one with Him. Therefore, they are called Samamati or Jitatma. Hmm. So, devotees are always engaged in service. Savai Manah Krishna Padara Vindayor Vachamsi Krishna, sorry, Vachamsi Vaikunta Gunanuvarna. Now, this is Ambarish Maharaj saying. All the activities of their senses are engaged in the service of the Lord. Because of such devotion, the Lord gives Himself to His devotees as if they could use Him for any purpose they might desire. Tava vibhava khalu bhagavan jagat udaya sthiti laya dini vishva srijaste amasham saha. Oh, um, Tatra mrisha spardanti pratak abhimatya. Mm. Saying, my dear Lord, this cosmic manifestation and its creation, maintenance, and annihilation are all but your opulences. So, mm, so Chitraketu Maharaj is glorifying next about the Lord's greatness. Not only that, he is conquered by the devotees, but it doesn't mean that he is subordinate to us. No, he is still supreme. That's why he's saying this cosmic manifestation and its creation, its maintenance and annihilation are all but your opulences. Hmm. This consciousness of themselves as separate lords is therefore merely false prestige about since Lord Brahma and other creators are nothing but small portions of a portion of you. Their partial power to create does not make them God. There is a whole big purport about this, explaining about how atheists think that they are great, but it's not fact. In fact, if one is creating a car, Prabhupada writes in the purport, the ingredients of a car is all created by the Lord. It's not the scientists, it's not the manufacturer, it's not the engineers. Hmm. And the remaining debris is a problem for so-called creators. Another example is that the West is creating many automobiles. The ingredients of these cars are supplied, of course, by the Supreme Lord, and the intelligence for the so-called creation is also supplied by the Lord. Ultimately, when cars are demolished, the so-called creators are faced with the problem of what to do with their ingredients. The actual creator, the original creator, is the Supreme Lord. Only in interim does someone create something with intelligence supplied by Lord. Hmm. परमाणु परम महतोस त्वम आद्यंत आद्यंता अंतांतर वर्तित्रय विदुरः आदाव अन्तेऽपि च सत्त्वानां यद्ध्रुवं तद् एवान्तराले अपि. So you exist in the beginning, middle, and end of everything, from the most minute particle of cosmic manifestation, hmm, atom, to the gigantic universes and total material energy. The purport Prabhupada is saying Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam. Hmm. Adyam Purana again. Lord is there in the beginning. Puranam Purusham, he is a person. Navayavvanam, he is not getting old. Vedeshu Durlamam Atma Bhakto Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajam. Such eternal, blissful, all-knowing forms of the Lord cannot be understood even by the best Vedic Vede. Is that Vedeshu Durlabham Adhurlabham Atma Bhakto? Uh, is very difficult, but they are always manifest to pure, unalloyed devotees. Hmm. Everything is caused or manifested by energy of the Supreme Lord, and when everything is annihilated or dissolved, the original potency enters the body of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, this verse says, "Adav ante epicha sattvanam yad dhruvam tad evantarale api." The word dhruvam means permanent. The permanent reality is Krishna, not this cosmic manifestation. So Dhruvam is not only determined or not only what do you call committed, not only that firm, yeah, Dhruvam firm, but here we can say Dhruvam means permanent. Hmm. Krishna, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Adir hi Devanam and Matta Sarvam Pravartate. Hmm. Krishna is the original cause of everything. Arjuna recognized Lord Krishna as the original person. Purusham Sasvatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. And Brahma Samhita describes him as a supreme person, Govindam Adi Purusham. क्षिति आदिभिर एष किलावृतः सप्तभिर्दश गुणोत्तरैर् अंडकोशः यत्र पतति अनुकल्पः सहांड कोटिभिस्तत् अनन्तः. So everything, this universe is covered by 7 layers, and these 7 layers, each layer is 100 times, no, 10, each 10 times greater than the previous one. Yeah, there are innumerable universes besides this one, and although they are unlimitedly large, they move about like atoms in you. Therefore, you are called Ananta. Hmm. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is coming. Athava bahunaitena kim jnatena tavarjuna vishtabhyaham idam krishnam ekamsena sthito jagat. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. The entire material world manifests only 1/4 of the Supreme Lord's energy. Therefore, he is called Ananta. Then, Vishaya Trisho Narapasavo Ya Upasate Vibhuti Na Param Tvam Tesham Asesha Isha Tad Anu Vinashyanti Yatha Raja Kulam. So, he's saying, O Lord, O Supreme, unintelligent persons who thirst for sense enjoyment and who worship various demigods are no better than animals in the human form of life. Because of their animalistic propensities, they fail to worship you, your lordship, and instead they worship the insignificant demigods who are but small sparks of your glory. With the destruction of entire universe, including the demigods, the benedictions received from the demigods also vanish, just like the nobility when a king is no longer in power. Kamadis tvayi rachita न परम रोहन्ति यथा करम्ब बीजानि ज्ञानात्मानि अगुणमयि गुण गणतो अस्य द्वन्द्व जला जालानि. O Supreme Lord, if persons obsessed with material desires for sense gratification through material opulence worship you, you are the source of all knowledge and are transcendental to material qualities. They are not subject to material rebirth. The beauty here is, even if one has material desires for what's reason, if he worship Krishna, then he doesn't have to take rebirth. It says living entities are subjected to repetition, birth and death because they are conditioned by material nature. But since you are transcendental, one who is inclined to associate with you in transcendence escapes the conditions of material nature. जितम अजित तदा भवता यदा भागवतं धर्मम् अनवद्यं निष्किंचनाये मुनया आत्मा राम यम उपासते अपवर्गाय. He's saying, O unconquerable one, when you speak about Bhagavata Dharma, which is the uncontaminated religious system for acquiring the shelter of your lotus feet, that was your victory. Persons who have no material desires like the Kumaras, who are self-satisfied sages, worship you to liberate from worship you to be liberated from material contamination. In other words, they accept the process of Bhagavad Dharma to achieve shelter at your lotus feet. So, there are nice shlokas in the purport Prabhupada brings. Srila Rupa Goswami is saying, Anya Bhilashita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavrutam Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam Bhaktiru Uttamam. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord favorably and without desires for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is the pure, that is called the pure devotional service. And Narada Pancharatra is saying, Sarvopadi Virirmuktam Tat Paratvena Nirmalam Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyati. One should be free from all metal designation and cleansed of all metal contamination. He should be restored to his pure identity, in which he engages his senses in the service of proprietor of the senses. That is called devotional service. This is, Prabhupada writes, this is also called Bhagavata Dharma. Without material aspirations, one should simply serve Krishna as advised in Bhagavad Gita, Narada Pancharatra, and Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavata Dharma is the process of religion enunciated, enunciated by pure devotees, direct representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead like Narada, Shukadeva Goswami, and their humble servants in disciplic succession. So here, Chitraketu Maharaj is glorifying. When they are instructed by the Lord Himself about Bhagavad Dharma and they adopt it, that is the victory for the Lord, for He then reclaims these fallen souls. So why it is a victory? Because one follows the Lord, huh? To follow Bhagavad Dharma. Savai pumsa paro dharmo yada bhaktir adhokshaje. यदो भक्तिरधोक्षजे अहायितुकी अप्रतिहता ममात्मा सुप्रसीदति ययात्मा सुप्रसीदति. So the supreme occupation or dharma, paro dharma, supreme dharma is yatho bhakti radhokshaye, for all is by which man can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated, ahetuki, and apratihata, uninterrupted. And then, in order to completely satisfy the self, yayatma, self, yayatma suprasidati, satisfied. So, therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam is the pure transcendental process of religion. Vishama matirna yatra nanam tvam aham iti mama taveti cha yad anyatra vishama dhiya rachito yaha sahi avishuddha kshayishnur adharma bahulaha. Now, this tells about what is irreligion, being full of contradictions, all forms of religion, but Bhagavad Dharma work under conception of fruitive results and distinction of you and I, and yours and mine. The followers of Srimad Bhagavatam have no such consciousness. They are all Krishna conscious, thinking that they are Krishna's and Krishna's is theirs. There are other low-class religious systems which are contemplated for the killing of enemies or gain of mystic power, but such religious systems, being full of passion and envy, are impure and temporary. Because they are full of envy, they are full of irreligion. Hmm. And then we stop after this. Kah kshemo nijaparayoho kiya vartah swaparah druha dharmena swadrohat tava kopah para sampidaya cha tatha dharmah. How can a religious system that produces envy of oneself and of others be beneficial for oneself and for them? What is auspicious about following such a system? What is actually to be gained by causing pain to one's own self due to self envy and by causing pain to others? One arouses your anger and practices irreligion. Hmm? So here Chitraketu Maharaj is saying this, and Prabhupada writes, any religious system but the process of Bhagavad Dharma, which is service as an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a system of envy of one's own self of others. So, for example, there are many systems of religion in which animal sacrifices are recommended. Such animal sacrifices are inauspicious both for the performer and for the animal. Although one is sometimes permitted to sacrifice an animal before the goddess Kali and eat it instead of purchasing meat from a slaughterhouse, permission to eat meat after a sacrifice in presence of goddess Kali is not the order of the Supreme Law. It is simply a concession for the miserable person who will not give up eating meat. It is meant to restrict his desire for unrestricted meat eating. Such a religious system is condemned. Therefore, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Paridyachya Mamekam Sharanam Raja. Give up all other duties and surrender unto me. That is the last word in religion. Then one may argue that the sacrifice of animals is recommended in the Vedas. This recommendation, however, is restriction. Without Vedic restrictions on the purchase of meat, people will purchase meat from the market, which will be overflooded with meat shops, and slaughterhouses will increase. To restrict this, sometimes the Vedas say that one may eat meat after sacrificing an insignificant animal like a goat before the goddess Kali. In any case, a system of religion in which animal sacrifices are recommended is inauspicious for those who perform the sacrifices and for the animals. Envious people who perform what is it? Ostentatious animal sacrifices are condemned in Bhagavad Gita as follows. Atma sambhavita stabda dhanamana madanvita yajante nama yajnaste dambe navidi purvakam. Damba means self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige. They sometimes perform sacrifice in only name without following any rules and regulations. Uh, Krishna is saying, ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodam, cha samsritaha, mam, atma para deheshu, प्रद्विषन्तो अभ्यसूयकाः तान् अहं द्विषतः kuryan kruran samsareshu naradaman kshipami ajasram ashubhan ashurim eva yonishu. These are all the qualities of a asura, who is not a devotee, who is into various demonic species. Uh, these persons are condemned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as indicated by the word Tava Kopaha. A person who commits murder is envious of himself and also the person he has killed. For the result of committing murder is that he will be arrested and hanged. If one transgresses the laws of a man made government, he may escape being killed by the state, but one cannot escape the laws of God. A killer of any animal must be killed in his next life by the same animal. This is the law of nature. One must follow the instructions of the Supreme Lord Sarva Dharma Parijyachya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. If one follows any other system of religion, he is subject to punishment by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in many different ways. And the purport goes further. It says, following a system of religion that does not awaken one's Krishna consciousness or God consciousness is merely a waste of time and labor. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so we covered till 42, and the next days we will finish with this chapter from 43 to 65. I think it has 61 or 65. Let me see. But that way we will finish this. So far, any questions or anything you want to share? No. Then
Krishna Prabhuji.
yes.
Prabhuji, at the starting, you mentioned about Prabhupada mentioning that in Bhagavatam it is told we are not supposed to add songs of, even though it's devotional songs, the mood of the singer is important. So just recollected my first seva for our Sangha Prabhuji on the Sri Ram Navami 2023. I think you said to add Maharaj's Kirtan and not. I added Sri Ramadasu thing, movie Kirtan, but at that time I didn't understand. But it's very, you know, thank you for guiding us as per Bhagavatam standards, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for bringing. It's something like there is a lot of difference eating prasadam that is prepared by the devotees that is offered to the Lord and eating any non-offered prasadam. Yeah. So what's happening is acharyas are offering their energy, their inspiration in serving the Lord in singing such nice pasuris or nice uttama shlokas, prayers, songs, bhajans, poems. So, and the Lord is enjoying, relishing that. That makes these bhajans, that makes these kirtanas, that make these special prayers, poems very, very powerful. And they have this power to transform when we hear. They help us to understand the true purport of why these poems are sung. Hmm? Just like when prasadam, yeah, that of course we are offering to the Lord and it becomes karma free, that's fine. But there is a lot of difference between food that is cooked by devotees who do chanting, and yeah, based on the level of their devotion and accordingly the quality of the food also matters. We can see a lot of difference. For example, if someone, yeah, I often hear when His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj takes yatra, his disciples and everyone, yeah, they say, wow, what a prasadam. Why? Because those are wonderfully cooked by senior devotees who, yeah, I remember once Parth Prabhu was saying there, he was staying in, sharing the room with one very old Prabhu, yeah, very old. What he was doing is, he was going, cooking, and then coming back, sitting in a chair and just doing japa. That's the only thing he was doing. Japa and cooking, japa and cooking. Yeah.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
So then obviously Krishna is pleased, and Krishna is pleased, then that prasadam becomes very special. And by taking that Mahaprasad of the Lord, then devotees become transformed. They become more Krishnized.
Yes, Guruji. I agree, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Good. Okay, then. Thank you very much. And wish you a nice evening. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय गौर हरे कृष्ण।